Da, 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 da.
Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. We're here on a Saturday night and don't know what the heck we're doing, actually. I've had a lot of things I've had to do this week. Plus, I hurt my knee in the beginning of the week, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, so we really don't have any plans. I've sent out emails asking people to be on, and I will put this invitation out to all of y'all that are over there in the chat as of right now. And for all of you who will watch this in the future, I'm trying to pull this computer up so that my weak eyes can see the chat better. If you would like to be on the show and talk about what you do and show us off some of the things you do, or have a particular way of using a tool that you think is unique, we'd love to have you. Send me an email to, I don't have the Russ at Simply Wooden Creations, but I have the contest, but I'll watch both of them. So send me an email to contest@simplywoodencreations.com. You need a pretty good internet, you need a camera, and you need a mic to be able to do this. Laptops are great. I'm running off of a laptop, so it's out here in my shop. But send me an email and just say, hey, I heard your invitation. I'd like to be on the Let's Talk Shop with Russ show as a guest, and tell me a little bit about yourself, and I'll get in contact with you, and off we go. So, like I said,
link in the URL, or the URL for the email, I think it's in the chat. I hope I didn't get it.
Yeah, contest@simplywoodencreations.com. That's right. So, yeah, send that, and we'd love to have you. We're looking for people. I'm looking for people all the time. We're in the summertime, which is hard to find people, because everybody's doing summer things with their kids. It's, they're out of school and everything. So I understand that. And then I have went through, after doing this show for 5 years and an average of 50 shows a year, that's 250 shows, give or take a few. I mean, it's not totally accurate. I know it's a little bit less than that, but just, you go that many shows, you start running out of candidates to be on the show. But I do know there's a lot of you out there in the chat that I see here all the time that I'd be more than welcome to have you on the show and talk about what you do and interview you. And maybe if you can't do it live, you can do like I've done before and so many others. You can actually video you using your tool or using your jig or how you do this particular thing you like to do, and you can screen share and show us the video. I did that on my whirly gig when I was doing some of the stuff for my whirly gig here a while back. It's actually simpler to do that in some ways, to video everything and edit it so it's nice and crisp, and then you just talk about what you're doing. So I'd love to have you. Send me an email, like I said, to contest@simplywoodencreations.com and say you want to be on the show as a guest. Second thing is, tonight's show is about showing off I'm looking over here because this computer is the one that has the chat on it, your YouTube channels. I posted that, and I haven't gotten maybe one or two, I haven't checked it lately, YouTube channels to show off. If you have a YouTube channel tonight that you want us to show live here on the show and talk about it, we're not rating your channel. We're not doing anything other than making people aware that watch this show about your channel. Send me the link to your YouTube channel to contest@simplywoodencreations.com. In the subject line, to just put my YouTube channel. Very simple. And send that to me now. And I will be checking my email throughout the show to see. Right now, the only one that I checked before we got on the show was Brenda. She put hers in, so I'm like, yeah, I don't care. We'll go down whoever, Al's and Paul's Messy Workshop channel and all those and talk about them. But one of the reasons I didn't have anybody respond to the emails that I send out So it's sometimes I have to think about things to have for the show. And this week was a very hectic and busy week for me. So if, matter of fact, could somebody reach out on Facebook to Katie Dotson and see if she's okay? Because she wasn't on last week's show.
Yeah, where's that slacker at?
Yeah, and so reach out to her. And I just thought about that. I'm sorry, I just had a busy week, or I would have thought about that before. Anyway, so Monday, my son had called me and said that his roof had been had a leak. Well, he needs a new roof, and we had some hellacious storms come through on Sunday afternoon, this past Sunday. And so I said, okay, I'll go get a tarp and I'll meet you over there when you get off of work. So I went over there and we put the tarp up over his roof and everything. So what happened was I was on the roof. His shingles are giving way as far as as shingles start to get old, they start to slough off that gravel. The gravel that's on top of a shingle is what protects the asphalt underlayment of that shingle from the UV rays. Well, that kind of starts sloughing off. So it gets kind of like slick up there. So as I was on my hands and knees helping him put the tarp down, as I went to stand up, when you stand up, you put pressure on your toes to lift yourself off. The gravel caused my feet to slip out from underneath me, and I landed on my hands and knees, and I landed on my left knee first, all 200 and something pounds of me, and racked my knee pretty good. So that was Monday. By Tuesday, it hurt like hell. And so Wednesday morning when I woke up, I went to the doctor. So they did an x-ray, only, it's just bruised, severely bruised. And actually today it's felt really, really good, actually. I mean, I haven't had to take any of my pain meds or anything for it, and I've been getting around pretty good. So that's the reason. Hey, see if Patrick Workshop wants to join us. Patrick from Patrick's Workshop. Hey, I haven't had you on the panel in a long time. If you would like to be on the panel tonight, we have plenty. We have 4 openings. Why don't you let me send you the link over to your Facebook page and join us for a little while. So anyway, that's pretty well laid me up for most of the week, because I haven't done a whole lot. This week. I've been kind of like laid back and chilling out. There are a few things, since I have got the spotlight, that I want to talk about. First off is a few of my friends. John Schaffner, I was kind of worried about him. He stepped out last week during the show because it's hot. It was hotter in New York than it was here in Florida. That's unusual. Trust me. When it gets hotter in New York than it is here in Florida, that's unusual. So anyway, he's doing fine. He just said it was super hot and he got kind of, nauseous from it. Second person I'd like to bring up is James Parker. James Parker's always out there in the chat. I don't know if I've seen him out there tonight.
Yeah, he's out there. Yeah, he's out there.
Yeah, and he just had surgery. How are you doing, my friend? I haven't had I've been busy this week, and with my knee and everything, haven't had a chance to reach out to you to find out how you're doing from your surgery. So he's had surgery. So let's give him a second to see if he responds back. And the other one that I want to...
Bob Lee says he can come on. You want me to send him the link?
Yeah, tell Bob Lee to come on.
Okay, I'll send you the link, Bob.
Yeah, Patrick's got a link out there that Jim and I sent, and then cool.
Patrick Work says I cuts too much, but thanks.
Yes, he did.
Tone it down a little bit, dude.
But we
Tone it down a little bit. Okay, the third person that I want to talk about is a good friend of mine, Joseph Poindexter. Joseph has supported me for a long time throughout the years and everything, and so he has actually a GoFundMe. So at this time, let me make sure that I have it pulled up.
Jeff Robinson, he just put on his jammies.
And I'm going to share the screen and take you over there to it. It's on Facebook. Okay, how come this ain't working? Okay, never mind. I'm a dumb. Never mind.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is Joseph Poindexter's Joseph's medical fundraiser. So he has to have surgery, and the insurance is not going to cover part of the surgery, and the surgery is a matter of life and death. So if there's any way possible for you to go over to Joseph's medical fundraiser, and after the show is over, I'll include it out there in the either put it down in the make a post about it, or put it into the what do you call it, the information underneath the video, so that you can see it. But yeah, he's trying to raise $19,700. He's got 180 raised as of right now in 15 days by 8 people. So I would really appreciate it if you have an extra buck or two, be able to go over and help Joseph. Like I said, he's been a friend of mine. He's been around for a while, and he has supported me. I mean, when I say supported me, we talk back and forth. He supported me, and he's posted a lot of stuff for me over the years. He's a good guy. So if you can help him out, I would appreciate it very, very, very much. And you know, guys, I really don't put a lot of these things out there for to ask for money for a lot of my friends, unless I know that they are like in desperate need and need some help. And y'all have always come through and donated, and I do appreciate that. And I think, you know, that's one of the wonderful things about having friends, is y'all are all my friends. These guys on the panel are my friends. So when somebody's in need, we kind of like step up and help. So I'd appreciate anything that y'all could do. And yeah, he does a lot of volunteer work for the zoo in his area. So him and his wife both. Other two things I want to talk about is Whirly Gig Wars. Whirly Gig Wars is supposed to end on July 31st. I'm going to extend it to Sunday, August 4th. That is Sunday, August 4th, to give everybody just a few more days. The only reason I'm doing this is because I've asked several people, or had several people ask me if I could extend it a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I don't have a problem with that, because they said they're working on it. I know Jim Basheer's is one of them. He's working on his now. I think Paul Corliss. So both of these guys, it'll give you about 4 or 5 more days. I don't want to extend it anymore because it'll carry over into the next challenge that I'm fixing to talk about. So you have until Sunday midnight, August 4th, and I will change everything and post everything around as far as that
Bob
goes.
Lee has joined us, and
Greetings.
LouAnna has joined us.
Greetings, LouAnna and Bob Lee.
Can't hear anything.
Hey, Bob.
You can't hear anything, LouAnna? Hello, LouAnna.
Al, you can't ask her if she can't hear anything.
Yeah, she can't hear anything. I know.
Hello.
Well, put in a PM over to her on her Facebook page.
Yeah.
She'll catch that. Okay. So anyway, that's the two things. The next thing I want to talk about real quick is the pallet challenge. Pallet challenge this year will run from August 1st through August 31st. So, and that is where you take one or a mini pallets and make something out of it, and make a video of it about you creating it, and send it to me and post it, and you can win some prizes. So that's coming up August 1st through August 31st out there. So, out challenge. Other than that, that's all the announcements I have. Jimbo says, Russ, that's James Parker says, I am getting better, just still sore from all the holes in my stomach. Well, I had one little tiny scar, which is about that long, for my hernia surgery. And I have never in my life felt so much damn pain from one little old tiny scar. Let me tell you. When I woke up, I was literally going, you know, I'm like, apparently abdominal surgeries are quite painful. My brother had colon cancer and he had to have surgery. And I literally, when he was in the recovery room, could hear him screaming. And I knew it was him because I could hear him. And I was like, wow. And so I had my little old hernia surgery. He's laid open from his pubic hairline to his xiphoid process. And I knew it was him. 12-inch scar. I have not even a 1-inch scar, and I'm in that much pain. I can't imagine the pain. I can't imagine the pain that he's in. So, Jim, I hope you get better, my friend. I really do. And I am so sorry that you had to have the surgery. So, but I understand what you're saying about the pain. So, all right, before we go any further, let me talk about my wonderful sponsors. And they are, I know I'm taking up all the time right here, but this show can go for 2 or 3 hours if we want it to. So my wonderful sponsors are Devobal Technologies. For web design, development, hosting, visit devobal.com. FastCap, innovative products for the professional woodworker. Go to fastcap.com. Rockler, 60 years in woodworking. Create with confidence. Visit rockler.com. Bearwood Supply Company, your best choice for hard-to-find woodworking supplies. Go to bearwood.com. Klingspor, the sanding specialist, woodworkingshop.com. Seiko, the scroll saw specialist, seiko.com. And Scrollnado, dust collection for your scroll saw. And you can buy them and find them on Amazon. So that's enough of me running my gator. Let's start off with Paul. Tell us where we can find you.
You can find me
Sitting on my butt right there.
You can find me right here. Here I am. You can find me on YouTube, Paul's Messy Workshop. On Instagram, Paul's Messy Workshop. You can find me sometimes over on Twitch watching either Al or Russ or whoever. You can, if you're in Flushing, Michigan, you can find me there. We're out a lot, so that's about it.
Cool. Good to have you.
And there's my project.
Yep. Well, get off your butt and make some sawdust.
Okay, see ya.
Next is Al. We haven't had you on here for a couple of weeks, so
been a little busy. Mom and sis moved from Florida, and honestly, I've been having a great time. Haven't been able to put any videos together, and I haven't even streamed in like 3 weeks myself. But maybe one of these weeks. But anyway, Al Forte, Odessa Woodworking Maker Shop, Kilroy 79763 on Twitch. Great to be here, and hopefully everything will kind of mellow out, and anyway, get better, get fun. I guess LouAnna can't hear us anymore, or still. You can hear us. You can hear us.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to go over to her right next and see.
This is a test for LouAnna.
LouAnna?
I can hear you.
Cool. We can hear you. How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. You can find me on Facebook. And I have a YouTube channel, but I haven't posted any videos yet. Completely clear of any controversy.
Yeah, so you're politically correct because you haven't posted videos.
I haven't posted videos, but I'm totally politically correct.
Okay.
I've been working on stuff like making stuff out of toilet tissue rolls.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Boxes.
Like little boxes?
Yeah, little boxes. I got 5 or 6 of them, but they're in my other bag. I don't have them here.
If you want to
stuff with denim. Whoops. That's foil to sharpen my scissors with. I'm also tearing apart the house and doing things. That's why the pile of stuff behind me.
Spoken like a true maker.
Yep, exactly.
All right, well, gather up some stuff you want to show off, and we will come back to you in a little bit and let you show your stuff off and talk about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I may have to go off camera then to go get stuff, other stuff.
All right, well, that's fine.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was supposed to be.
All right, that's fine. Go get your stuff because we'd like to show you for you to show your stuff off on here tonight.
Sure, that's great.
All right, well, go get it, and we'll be back to you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Jim.
Jim Basheer's from Driveway Workshop, and anything that's not YouTube, it's Jim Basheer's, all one word. And I'm working on my whirly gig. That's about all that's going on now.
Cool. How is? I know you said that you were off and you're supposed to be going back to work here pretty soon. How is things going from your surgery?
Oh, I still can't look to the left very well or drive for more than about a half an hour or so. But
Okay.
other than that, it's not too bad.
Keep doing your PT.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, really.
Yeah. So if your wife needs to give you a attitude adjustment, she comes from your left side with a frying pan. You'll never
yeah,
take her.
yeah. She's been gone for a week. She'll be gone all week next week.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So Dixon.
Hey, Russ. It's good to be here. I'm Dixon Hoffman. You can find me at Hoffman Signs and Decals and once in a while on Facebook. We finally have power back on. Last week we were out of power for a while, but luckily I had a generator.
Yeah. No, those things are handy to have. There was a lot of people up in, you're talking about in the New York area, right?
No, Wisconsin. They said
Wisconsin.
we had 7 tornadoes in the area in
Oh,
Wisconsin.
okay. Because there was
Last
someplace over in New York or whatever, they had a lot of power outages too.
Yeah, they had what we get it first, and then it shoots right across the United
To
States.
them. Yeah.
Yep.
So they took out a lot. How many people do you think was out of power? Hundreds, thousands?
Yeah, thousands. They said just in our area, the Fox River Valley, Appleton, Green Bay, and farther up north, they said 700 power lines were down and 200 trees.
Wow. Wow.
I saw some videos of Oshkosh,
Yeah.
and man, there were like planes that pulled those tie downs up out of the ground, flipped the
Yeah.
planes over. It was a mess.
All I want to say is bagosh.
We had a paper fest going on right because I live right next to the Sunset Park, and so we see the whole park and them big white tents. They really got them anchored in the ground, and they were gone.
Wow. Crazy. All right. So Brenda.
Good evening, Russ. I'm Brenda G of Brenda G's Designs. You'll find me all over the internet as Brenda G's Designs. I'm on Etsy, Teesprings, Makers Media Network, Facebook. BrendaG'sDesigns.net is my website. I'm on Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel. And I do comedy, and I do crafts over on my channel.
Great. Yeah. Tell them a little bit about your Heifer Haven where you answer.
Well, right now I've got a series going that's got almost 180 episodes up, and it's called Heifer Haven's Free Advice. It's free advice. I didn't say it was good.
Be like Brenda. Be crafty.
Yes, that's my craft motto. Brenda's crafty, be like Brenda. And I have a whole lot of craft videos up on different things that I have done. There is also another comedy series that I have up that is called And That's Why I'm Still Single.
Yeah.
There will be another comedy series coming in the fall, and that one is going to be called And That's Why I Need Bail Money.
Oh, my God.
That's going to be good. Okay. And also, I would like to say something is because Brenda does a show on Thursday nights. And Matt Hosh is her sidekick, and they've been doing this for, I don't know, a few months. But Matt's not going to be able to be there this Thursday night. So guess who's going to join Brenda this Thursday night? You want to tell him?
Russ.
Well, Russ has thrown his hat in the ring. He says he's brave enough to come on the show with me.
You can do it, Russ. You can do it.
And we're going to have all kinds of shenanigans and facts, and who knows what we'll talk about because we don't know.
A little singing, maybe too.
It could be. You never know what we're liable to do.
Well, if I do sing on her show, it's going to be I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
But that's Thursday night at 7 o'clock on my channel, 7 o'clock Eastern time. So we hope everybody will come and join us because who knows what's going to happen. We don't know. We fly by the seat of our pants over there on my channel.
So don't forget that, people. Thursday night. I'm going to be there. Be there or be square. I am a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. Cut down trees. All right. So next is Bob. How you doing, Bob?
All right. How are you?
Good. I bet you thought he's never going to get to me.
I'm Bob Lee. I have a YouTube channel, Bob Lee's Woodshop. I'm also on Instagram under R.E. Lee. And I'm on Facebook under just Bob Lee.
Hey, Bob, are you on Discord at all as Dobley, I think, or something like that?
It's B-O-D. Yes,
okay,
I am.
Okay, yeah.
I just use that for listening though, or being able to talk. I actually signed up for it so that I could go on behind Mike Haas there, or Matt Haas.
Yeah. Bod is why I was asking, because it wasn't. Yeah. It was
well. The thing of it is, we couldn't get an email with Bob Lee, so my nephew went B-O-D-L-E-E and went Bot Lee. So I've stuck with that monogram now on my email.
Well, I was wondering.
Yeah.
Well, good to have you, Bob.
Pleasure to be here.
It is, yeah, but it is because this is the first time you've ever been on my show.
That's true. That's true. I did get to meet you down in Atlanta, though.
Yeah, we met in Atlanta a couple of times, so that was good. But yeah, it's good to have you on the show.
But
okay, so let me real quick check my email.
I'm a lumberjack.
And I'm okay. Will you quit singing that damn song?
It's an earworm now.
I play all day.
It's gonna be stuck in my brain all night now.
Ain't it though?
Just like
Right there. So give me a second.
Come on, Jim.
I think it would have been good if I'd have just. Now, Brenda, on your Brenda G's Designs, you have.
I heard that.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah, that was loud.
Was it?
That was good.
You can't keep me hidden for long.
Talk about an icebreaker.
Hold on, just 1 second. Give me a second. Give me a Heifer Haven fishing lures. That's why I'm single.
That's a good
I'm
one.
looking for the here it is. I just had to do that again. Hang on, let's do it one more time. Okay, so I'm locked on her channel. Let me come back over here.
Do you rent out that soundtrack, Brenda?
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a soundtrack of that.
I'm gonna make a ringtone out of it.
Yep. All right, so let me share. Brenda has sent me the link to her channel, and so we can show off her YouTube channel. So there we have it, Brenda G's Designs. So you want to talk a little bit about tell us a little bit about your channel?
Well, I started the craft channel a couple of years ago, and I was doing crafts, mostly live streams, doing crafts, and showed all kinds of different things that I've done over the years, and had a pretty good audience there for the live streams on doing them. And then people got to finding out that I was kind of funny. So they decided that I needed to do some comedy. And I thought, well, you know, I can throw it out there. I don't know how many people's going to think that I'm really funny or not. And actually, it's kind of caught on. People do kind of find me humorous. And
Was that Matt by chance?
that's my sticker, my
Yeah.
channel sticker right there that Al's holding up. But yeah, I don't know. I've got all kinds of stuff up there on the channel, something for everybody pretty much. And
well, you know, I have found out that I am actually not sharing you with everybody.
Well, why not?
Because I look back over and I hate when I do this crap. There we go.
Okay.
Now, well, it's still not doing it.
Is this your first day doing this, Russ?
Yeah, I think it is my first day of doing this. I thought I had in order for me to share it right, I have to lock on myself. So there we go. Now your channel's up. So keep talking.
Well, there it is. Brenda G's Designs got my logo up there at the top of it. And you can go to my playlist. I got all kinds of playlists up there. You know, you can binge watch and all that if you can stand it. On my Hever Havens, I ring a cowbell on every episode. You know, that gets people's attention.
Okay, so this one, you put up this one 2 hours ago.
Yeah. That's the newest one I put up.
Sometimes she does 3 and 4 in a day. Man, it's like, wow.
Well, the magic to it is that when I get 50 views on an episode of it, I put up a new one. So it just depends on how fast people watch them. You know, if they watch them, you know, pretty quick, then I'll throw up another one. And if it takes a few days, well, then I'll wait a few days to put another one up.
Impresario Brenda.
I don't go by YouTube's rules and regulations, you know, and the things that they say needs to be done. I do my own thing. They say you need to do like 10-minute videos. I do less than a minute.
Yep.
I figure that's about all anybody can take of me in one dose.
Yep. No, I mean, no.
Then you have your mind equals blown with Matt.
Yep. I got the live streams that I'm doing now are every Thursday night, and that is the Mind Equals Blown, and it is a networking stream. And we do give out facts, and we talk about, you know, just whatever people want to talk about. And you never know where it's liable to take you.
You never do.
It's a rabbit hole.
Cool. Well, if y'all have not yet, go over there and subscribe to Brenda G's Designs.
Yep, smack that red button. We think red buttons are evil. We like to turn them gray.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Smash it. And that is her channel. Let me get back over there to me.
Thanks, Russ. I appreciate that.
No problem. So there's only one thing that they all need to enjoy here on my show that you do on all your shows, and that is, can we have more cowbell?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Mr. Cowbell.
Want a little cowbell? A lot of cowbell. More cowbell.
We want a lot of cowbell.
More cowbell.
More cowbell.
Cowbell.
Brenda, have you ever gone back and watched your videos after you hit that cowbell?
Oh, yeah.
Because you always go, yeah.
Get in there hitting that cowbell.
Yeah, she gets into it, trust me.
If you want just a little cowbell,
Yes.
That's what I commented on, is I want more little cowbell.
this is the one that Mr. Doughboy 356 made me. I'll see if I can get it up here at the camera.
Yes. Now he makes those actual coins, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's made from 2 coins. And even the clapper in it is part of a coin.
Very
and
nice.
then he put a little plastic cow up on top of it.
Very
Like
nice.
a cowbell.
So he makes those. He actually makes the bells from a coin, like a 25-cent piece or a 50-cent piece.
Yeah.
And then he makes the clapper underneath out of a coin, like a 10-cent piece or whatever. Mr. Doughboy, what is it?
356.
356. Mr. Doughboy 356.
Yep. He's very talented. He makes all
He is
kinds of
very
stuff.
talented. I've actually asked him to be on the show a few times, and I don't know if he's out there in the chat tonight or not. but I've asked him to be on the show. And a lot of times when I ask people to be on the show, unfortunately, they don't have a camera or a mic or the laptop or whatever the setup so that they can actually be on the show. So
well, he's still working on his equipment, so he may be available fairly soon.
I'm hoping so, because I'd love to have him on the show. So let me go back and check my email and see if anybody else has put any.
Come on, y'all, get your URLs in there to Russ. Don't make me be the only one out here brave enough to put my channel up there.
Okay. We got one more. I'm gonna have to find him. Give me just 1 second. He's a good friend of mine.
That leaves you and I out, Al.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Like they say up in the Great White North, we're hosed, dude. Hey.
Well, his might be hard.
Why are you guys such good friends? He locked you out of his account.
Well, it's kind of a long. I'm hoping this is it.
Sleep all night, work all day.
All day. Oh yeah, this is it. Robert A. Crow. Is that right, Robert?
See out in the chat there.
You still out there in the chat? Robert A. Crow, Mobile Home Workshop.
Just like my great papa.
That one I posted in there today. As soon as I seen it, I said, all right, this is going out there into the private messages on YouTube, because it'll make tears come to your eyes. It's so funny.
Oh.
Robert, are you still out there? Give you one more second. I think this is it.
He said yes.
Yep, that's it.
Yes.
Robert A. Crow, Mobile Home Workshop. I thought I had it right. So let me once again lock on me, so that like Brenda did, she talked for like 10 minutes and
Talked 10 minutes, never said a word.
I'm like, I just get these brain farts every once in a while that I totally forget how to do things. I don't understand why, but anyway.
I cut down trees.
All right, so this is Robert's channel. Mobile Home Workshop. And literally he has a shop in his mobile home. Or in a mobile home, not his mobile home. He's not living there, but I guess he could be living there because he works there so much. So get off your butts and become a subscriber to him. He's got a C. Look at this. We'll go over here and watch this for just for a second. He's got a CNC.
Ooh. What does he have, Russ?
Is
it a homemade one, quote unquote, or
I don't know.
Robert,
Robert,
wasn't he the one that was on the show like a couple months ago?
No, Robert wasn't on the show.
No? Okay.
43 subscribers. Boy, we got to go over there and help him out.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, everybody over there right now and subscribe to him.
Robert, what kind of CNC is this that we're looking at?
I think I'm
Rigid.
It's homemade.
Homemade.
He said he'd like to be on the show. You want me to send him the link?
Send him the link. He's on Facebook.
All right, I'll send him the link.
Yeah, he's on Facebook. This is a homemade CNC.
Yeah. I want to make sure I'm sub. Yeah, I'm sub to him. Yep.
Are you?
Yep.
Okay.
Me too.
He's got a
We
nice
can't carry the load though, Al. Me and you through the
rigid lathe.
I can only provide 20. Okay, that's it. Just 20 subs. So I don't have any more than that. Just kidding, Robert.
This is showing. He does a lot of. He does a lot of turning because he's actually sent me some wood. Here's where he did his CNC roll. See, he even watches me. Look.
I can't find him on Facebook, so if you've got him, Russ, go ahead and.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem. I don't know if he's on. Let me go look real quick.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm on. Yeah.
Hey, Robert Crow, are you on Facebook?
Yes,
And if
he
so-
is.
He is?
I just found him. Let me
Okay.
jump through some hoops here real quick.
In the meanwhile,
I've got to stop this because I have to come over here to get the link.
Meanwhile,
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. I cut down trees. Come on, Jim, you pick it up from there.
I'm not getting sucked into this, Al. I know it by heart, but I'm not getting sucked into it.
Yeah. Jim, put
Listen,
it
and every
You're not
phrase.
sucking it in, Al.
All right,
Every
Robert
phrase
Crow,
and
I'm
every
sending
python.
you right here. You can see it. I'm sending you the link.
Russ, now everybody knows what the link is.
If they can copy that
Yes.
quick,
Yes. Come on, guys.
go.
It doesn't seem to matter. He's been asking for people to come
I
on.
know.
Anyway, look what Robert has down here on his like videos. Let's talk shop with Russ. Season 5, episode 17. Screws.
Hopefully,
Screw or not to screw? That is the question.
hopefully he does come on. He is coming on, right, Robert?
Spindle. Getting his spindle wired.
Ooh, is it water cooled?
Yes, it is water cooled.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, they're nice and quiet.
Yes.
Yeah, compared to a router, they damn sure are.
Right?
Oh my God.
Look at this damn. That's like
He's got him a drive and everything.
really. Wow, Robert.
Man, I wish he was on the panel, so we can interact with him and talk with him.
Yeah, because we're going to have his whole website dissected by the time he gets on.
He might be like LouAnna and has to go get his makeup on and get ready to
Pull his hair back.
Well, we're going to LouAnna next.
Oh my God.
As soon as we get off of Robert. That didn't sound right. We never were on Robert.
We know.
Now he's not going to want to come on, Russ.
So did he make that
better
CNC?
get on here to defend himself.
Goodness.
Did he build? Did he build that CNC himself, or is?
If he comes on, we'll ask him.
he says makeup won't work.
Okay.
He's got my problem
He
then.
said to
So,
send
and we're going to see if
you
he comes on.
UPM the link.
Let's
code,
go
right?
to, all right, we're going to go in this order. We're going to go to LouAnna next, and then we'll go over to Bob. We'll go over to your channel next after LouAnna's, okay? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. So, LouAnna, you do a lot of crafts.
Uh-huh.
So, take us through some of the crafts you do.
I do scrapbooking. This is a little one. You put all manner of stuff in this. All kinds of stuff. It's just a quickie kind of a thing. And the first thing she said when I was in a group with 2 other women, they have since disbanded for the summer. And I have quotes in here. I have flowers. I made these. They're paperclip accessories.
Beautiful. That's cool.
Glossy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Lots of hearts because I'm big on, love being the most important thing in life. I do rock painting.
Now I have a question for you. Do you
What?
throw those rocks at people?
No.
They got to be
This
still
one
somehow.
actually is kind of a joke. It's a rock.
If you throw it and hit them upside the head, I'm sure they're going to be still.
It's a rock, but that's the joke. It's the irony of it all.
Right.
It sits there. That's all it does, and it tells me to be still.
Rocks talk to me.
That's all it does.
In
Yeah.
fact,
I'm working on.
70s.
You remember back in the 70s when that guy or was it 80s when the guy had the pet rocks? You know how much money that guy made off of that?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So,
Mine used to do tricks though. They used to. No, wait a second. Those were the lewds.
I make bracelets.
beautiful.
and all wood.
Now you kind of remind me of Brenda. Brenda does a lot of this stuff.
Brenda does a lot of this stuff too. I know.
Yeah.
Are those just store-bought little rocks and stuff, or?
These?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I bought beads from
Or beads.
Amazon.
Yeah, beads.
Beads?
And then you drill holes in them and put the elastic through them. And
No, they come with holes.
oh, I didn't know
They come
that.
with holes. And that's the wood.
Oh, I can make that then.
Yes, you can, with no problem at all. I
Yeah, the
encourage
damn drill
everybody
hole
to
through the
No,
thing.
Russ, don't do
explore
that.
their creative side. I like these though, and I do buff them and polish them, if that helps you any. If you feel any better. I also work on quilting. And I
Yeah,
have
I like it when you buff and polish rocks.
a couple quilt blocks. I'm making a log cabin denim quilt.
Quilts, huh?
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of blocks of that. And then
Now you say that's
I also,
denim. Is that denim as in denim off of jeans that you've cut?
absolutely. I go to thrift stores and I pick up the denim and I make denim blocks.
So in other words, you go to the thrift stores, you buy used jeans.
Oh, she didn't say she bought them. They kick her out of the thrift stores all the time because she turns all the pants into shorts.
It doesn't. They don't kick me out. They don't kick me out at all.
They
love
don't
to
want
see
the
me
jeans
coming.
anymore?
I roll up the jeans as tight as I can and put them in a bag, and I fit as many in a $5 bag as I can get.
Cool.
Cool. And then you come back and cut them into strips.
I deconstruct the jeans, yes,
Okay.
and then I do. Oh, wait a minute, I have one here.
I have a question when you get a chance.
I make. What do you have a question about?
Have you ever made any memory quilts? And
I have not yet. Inside.
That's what my wife does.
people who they take
These
the
things, well, I put a little glitter on them, just to make them a little fancier. Because glitter. It's fun.
Cool.
I have some that are really dark blue jeans, and the glitter really shows up. And then I'm working on a.
Robert, oh, just one second. Robert, I'm going to have to mute you for right now, so please don't unmute you. We're getting a lot of feedback from your channel, so that we can't hear LouAnna, and then we'll unmute you when we come to you.
Okay.
This is the other one I'm working on. It's called the Charming Circle Quilt. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, that looks nice.
Go ahead.
Looks nice.
It was
It's
charming.
called the Charming Circle Quilt, and you know what I love about it? The back is already on it when you're done. The backing is already done. Hooray! And I've been trying to alternate light and dark. They say don't worry about it, but I tried to do the light and dark thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It
Now,
doesn't
you
matter.
stuff together, you naturally have a sewing machine, right?
Say it again?
When you sew these pieces together, you have a sewing machine, right?
Yes.
What kind of sewing machine? do you
Make each one of these separately, and then
Right.
you sew them together. And I have this one. This one is only pinned. I mean, it's clipped.
Right, I understand. But what kind of sewing machine do you use?
I have a brother.
A brother. Okay. Yep.
I've got
I actually have two brothers, but a brother sewing machine.
Yeah. Well, you sure they're not a brother and a sister?
I have a little sister. Actually, I have a little sister, a big sister. What is that called? Brenda, help me out here. What is it called? Die cutting machine? When you do
It was
that?
a joke.
Well, it
It was
depends
a
on which
joke.
kind. There's a bunch of different die cutters.
I said it was a joke.
I have a silhouette.
Brenda wasn't much help, was she, LouAnna?
I also cover denim boxes with denim, so I can store stuff in them, or my grandkids can. They like denim. I made them a denim and minky baby quilt. And the little one I was there yesterday, and the little one who's a year and a half old just loves it. He feels the denim. He feels the shaggy thing on the. Oh, he loves it. It's just wonderful. It's very soft. I also cover bottles, recycle cover bottles in twine, so that you can't see the bottle when the top's on. my daughter says, "Mom, what am I going to do with that?"
We'll drink water out of it, of course.
What, honey?
We'll drink water out of it, of course.
Well, you could drink water out of it if you wanted to, but it'd probably get your bottom lip wet. That's okay. Most people drinking things other than water don't particularly care.
Yeah.
now I've got desiccants in this.
I can attest to that.
I was going to say that's a bottle you could fill with Jack, and nobody would know.
Nobody would even notice. As it is, happens, it's filled with desiccants.
Ah,
You know
you don't
those
eat
little
that,
things
do
they
you?
put to dry things up because there's a lot of uses for that.
You don't eat desiccant, do you? You're not supposed to eat it.
No, you're not supposed to eat that.
It's not edible.
You don't eat them.
Correct.
You keep them around so when you need them, they're there.
Correct. Please do not eat desiccant at home.
We
I
do
don't-
not condone munching
Desiccants.
desiccant on this show.
So now, obviously, you make all this stuff, you sell it, right?
No, I don't. I haven't sold it yet. I make wonderful hot pads. Oh my God, they're wonderful.
Okay, so
make hot
what do
pads?
you do with all the stuff that you make?
Well, I give it as gifts so far.
You
I've been
make
giving
hot
them as
pads?
gifts.
Are you serious?
As part of I make them and I save them. I give them at Christmas time. And this the charming quilts one that looks like it had flowers on it, that's for me. Because I give away all my good stuff.
So you
I'm making that one for me.
could use an extra couple of bucks by selling it.
I probably could, especially the hot packs, because they offered me like $30 for this hot pack, and I said it's a gift. Your family, I can't do that. You know.
Oh, sure you can.
Probably.
Right.
I could.
All right. We have to talk after this because you
Yeah.
need to get you need to start selling some of the stuff and making cup. I mean, I understand you're selling the stuff to give away, and that's fine. Don't get me wrong, but you should be making stuff and selling it too.
Money.
Yeah.
Money.
That would be nice if I could.
Okay, let's say that you only sell $100 a month. That's $100 you don't have.
It's beer money.
Yeah, it's your money.
I don't drink beer. Single malt scotch.
Well,
There you go.
Scotch money.
It
Okay.
buys more supplies.
Yeah,
if you had the
buy
$100, you would drink
But
beer.
yeah, you really need, because some of the stuff is beautiful. I mean, come on.
Thank you.
I
You'll
mean,
have
I'm
to-
looking in the chat, and Aussie Man says, seriously, LouAnna, beautiful work. So they're all talking about your work and think it's beautiful. So,
Well, thank you. Okay.
so
Well,
yeah,
you-
I'll get on YouTube channel. Can you
like
see?
I said, you can set up some real easy ways of selling it so that you can make maximum amount of profit off of it. For instance, you can even post the stuff for sale over on Facebook and on your own channel.
Yes.
And so that's an easy way of doing it. Just say, hey, I'm offering this out here. And if you start posting on Facebook, there's enough around here and out in the chat, we'll pick up on it and start spreading it around to try to get. But my point is, if you only sold $100 a month, that's $100 you can buy supplies with that you don't have.
You could stick it on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, Facebook.
Yeah.
Market.
Yeah.
A marketplace. Maybe I'll do that.
That's
That if
and
it
that's
takes off
free.
real good, you get an Etsy store set up.
Yeah, well, I don't like
Starts doing
Etsy.
really
I've
well,
heard
maybe
a lot of
Etsy
bad
has the
things
cost
about
of
Etsy, and we will talk about that later on. But the Facebook Marketplace, but you charge them for shipping now.
Right.
You don't pay shipping, yeah. So if it's a $20 product, you include like $5 or $10 on top of that for shipping or whatever. So, but yeah, beautiful. I'm glad to have you. And you know, after all this time, where's my thing that I made you?
Oh,
Like Aussie Man just said out in the
I'll
chat,
show you.
is sell your stuff and in a couple months you got your scroll saw.
Yeah.
That would be really nice. Hold on a minute. I'll get your.
Okay.
Hey, Russ, did you send her a clock, Russ?
No, it would have took her 2 or 3 years to get the damn clock. You know,
Russ
Al,
ever promises
it was
your
so
clock,
nice.
if Russ ever promises your clock, he'll hold your
Al,
clock.
and pointing out all these defects that I have.
Yeah. Oh no, I wasn't pointing anything out. Actually, Paul,
Yeah, you were. You said, was it a clock? I knew what the
No,
reference.
it wasn't a clock. It was Give Me Tea. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I have it on my one of the dressers behind me with this. I also made this.
So this isn't Home Sweet Home. What? So this isn't Home Sweet Home. Adjust.
This isn't Home Sweet Home. Adjust.
Beautiful.
I used to do counting cross stitch quite a lot, but then I had neck surgery and I couldn't do it as much because I can't do that much of this
Yeah.
spacing down so much.
That
Yeah,
makes
you know,
Out of
if you made $100 a month, in about 4 or 5 months, you'd have a nice scroll saw.
Yeah.
Brand
Yeah.
new.
in
Oh, I
in a
found
few
out.
months,
I
she'd have
found out this
400
week
bucks.
that maybe my father's lathe and his bandsaw might be coming to me because
Oh,
my
great.
brother's selling his house and my my son-in-law, the guy who's married to my daughter, is selling my brother's house. So he says, hell yeah, if that thing's in the basement, we'll get it out of the I said, it's a shopsmith. It's heavy. You're going to need a bunch of guys.
Hey, there's
And
various
a bandsaw.
Cool.
users.
I may be having those come to me, which would be very nice. And
You
then I
can do a lot of neat stuff in the
so
shop.
I'd
Yep.
still need a scroll saw. I also did some stuff on the loom. I don't know if you can see that too well because the lighting isn't all that great. It's a big old heart on a blue background. I took advantage of the fact that I didn't have the bars yet, and it goes in when you do that. So I made the heart stand out more. But that was my very first attempt at looming. Well, not counting hats, because I made a lot of hats and scarves. Gave them away. For Christmas gifts. I made one for my daughter the night she gave birth. I was making a story in it with different scraps of yarn. She did a video of it. Can you stand it? She had me explaining it on video.
Do you have the video? Where's the video?
What?
Where's the video?
I don't have the video on it.
Well, if
She
you don't
made
have
it-
the video,
She
it never
made
happened.
She took it. She hid it in her archives because she knew I'd want it back and erase it.
No video.
That's okay.
No pictures. It never happened.
Sorry.
Well, let me
Yeah.
tell you, you are a very, very talented lady.
Indeed.
Well, thank you very much. I think that's about all I have to show you. Finished with that. If you are,
Well, I will get with you, and we need to start putting this out on Facebook and make you a couple of bucks. I'm serious.
okay, we'll work at it.
Yep, we will.
It's discouraging when you're just doing it for yourself or for gifts that sometimes people don't
Well,
appreciate.
And I understand that, and that's why I'm saying you are talented enough that you need to put some of your stuff up. Like I said, you may not make $1 million, but in the same aspect, if it's $100 a month, that's $100 a month you don't have.
You're absolutely right. It'll help.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the way I look at it. If you sell this month $100, but all of a sudden a lot of stuff you make people like more, and next month is $200. I mean, it's.
How do you work taking taxes out of that? Or I guess that's something we could talk about later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to look. What you have to do is either where you posted at or your local state where you're at. That's where you have to research and find out what you have to pay them and everything.
A lot of times, if you don't make that much, you don't have to declare
Yeah.
it, because if you do it as a hobby, you can write off whatever you make up until what
Certain
you
amount.
receive.
Yeah, a certain amount.
As long as you're not trying to
So in other words,
declare a loss or anything, then you don't have to worry about it.
right. In other words, if you're making less than let's say $5,000 a year, or under these circumstances, underneath that, well, you would have to look at it through your state and then where you're selling it through.
Okay.
Please.
But yeah,
please see your accountant.
it wouldn't be that big of a deal to figure out and if you need to charge taxes or not.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I bet there's a small business place or-
Bureau, small
Yeah.
business bureaus where she needs to
Yeah,
contact.
exactly.
I took a free adult education class through the local school district on a small business, on starting a small business, and they covered what is a business versus a hobby.
Right.
And
think
there's
it's
a lot of leeway there. You got to be making a lot of money before you have to declare it a business.
Yeah. No, I agree. So we'll
Well,
work
the
on
hobby's
that.
not it first because I can only make so much so quickly.
Yeah. Next is up is and I just want to point out, by the way, so also Brenda makes a lot of stuff, and let's go to Brenda real quick. You make a lot of stuff. Where do you sell your stuff at?
That's-
Well, I have an Etsy store.
Yep.
And that's that's primarily. I also have done some craft shows this year. I've cut way back on the craft shows. I'm only doing one craft show this year, and I'm started a website, and there is the ability to put a store on the website. So I will probably down the line be doing that. I'm not real happy with Etsy and their new policy.
Well, that's what I heard. That's the reason I didn't get involved with them.
Yeah. You can sell there and charge the shipping, but if you are charging the shipping, what they want to do is not promote your site. And I don't know, that just doesn't sit well with me. Not that I was getting any promotion out of them anyway. Pretty much it was self-promotion, letting people know that you have the Etsy store and promoting it on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all that sort of thing. But it's just the way that they came across with it, because it appears to me they're trying to make it into something like a box store. And that's not what this is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be hand-created, handcrafted items that are not mass-produced.
Right.
And there's a lot of mass-produced stuff on Etsy.
Yeah.
So basically, what you need, what they want you to do is, let's say I have a $20 item, I'm going to sell it for $30 and post free shipping.
Yes, but even then that's tricky, because it'll cost more say you're in Florida, and if you wanted to ship something to Washington State, it would cost you more than if somebody in Georgia ordered it. So if somebody in Georgia orders it and you're charging the same shipping for the person in Washington State, the guy in Georgia is kind of getting rooked, because they're having to pay all this extra money on the shipping charges.
Yes, I agree.
What about for overseas, guys? How does that come into play?
That doesn't come into play with it.
Okay.
No, they still pay the shipping, person ordering, if they live overseas, is paying the shipping. This is just for domestic. But even then, not all domestic shipping is created equal.
No, I agree.
So I'm just not real happy with it. I don't like taking advantage of people.
That's the reason when I was telling LouAnna I didn't promote Etsy. If somebody said Etsy, I'm like, I heard a lot of bad stuff about it.
Yeah, there are other sites as well. I have not scoped them to see what their rules and regulations are, but I'm figuring, okay, if I have to self-promote, I might as well self-promote my own website.
Yes.
What software are you using to build your website?
It is through logo.com.
Okay.
Cool.
Hey, Russ, Aussie said free shipping. Yay. Russ, send me stuff.
Yeah. Free shipping for Aussie, man.
Hey, I love me some Aussie. He's a cool guy. Let me tell you, I love me some Aussie. Yeah, he is. He's a great supporter of the show. Always out there, and free shipping. Send me some stuff. Yeah. All right. So, as I promised, we're going over to Bob. How you doing, Bob?
All right, Russ. How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's good.
So you seem like you recovered from your surgery well. I know it's been a while, but still.
Yeah, it was tough on me because the original incision or colon got infected, and that's what my problem was.
Right.
So I had 5 extra weeks of recovery, and that was the hardest part, because I kept going in and out of the hospital because of the infection.
Right.
But it's 2 years. It'll be 2 years in October that I had the initial surgery. So I'm doing pretty good. There has been some side effects that I still deal with every day, but overall, I'm doing very well, and sure, my wife and I are able to travel again. And
yeah, I've been watching the pics of you posting around about y'all little travels and stuff.
Yeah, we're headed out over August 4th. We're going to be heading towards Dayton. My wife and I are going to be married 40 years come August 4th. So we're running away from home again.
I noticed, just real quick, Robert, you dropped out. We were planning on getting to you, so if you want to come back in.
I can't wait to ask Robert about his CNC.
I know that's
Me
what
too.
we
Yeah.
plan on getting to you. I hope you will come back if you see this. Let me go over and continue. Let me go back and what do you want to talk about, Bob?
Oh, I just love to be here, Russ. That's all. If you want to go to Robert, go ahead.
No.
I would
want. I'm gonna PM him, so I need you.
He's back.
He's back.
Hey, Bob,
Yeah.
talk about your cars. I saw a Nova, right? And
Yeah,
and the truck.
I do have a truck. Wait a minute. Let me go. I am pulling up this. I don't know. Can you see this?
Yes, certainly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, look at that beauty. Look at that beauty.
That is
Wow.
my truck that I own. I built that from the ground up, and it's all been modified. It was a truly a hunk of a bucket of rust.
Like my Mustang.
Everything that I own was a bucket of rust, and I brought them back from the graveyard, you might say.
Yeah.
Right now, the only two that I have is a 72 Nova and my 49 pickup. But I've done 3 other cars besides that.
I heard you were at a standstill. I think Paul asked you the question, how's your Nova coming along? And you said it's at a dead standstill.
Well,
You
I've got
gotta
it up.
travel?
I've got it up on jack stands, and I've got the whole front coil A-arms and everything tore out of it because
You compressed the coil springs and took them off and then took the A-arms? Or
no, the Chevrolet you can just let all the way down,
and I got you.
and you got to use a floor jack to get it back up. I haven't gotten that far yet, so we may have to compress them yet. I have a friend that has the tools.
Yeah. I went down to one of the local auto parts store to compress the springs on the front end of my Mustang, and I'll tell you what, you're sitting there cranking down on this spring that's like this big and like that round thick, and you're going, well, I hope that thing doesn't pop off. And
Yeah, see, what we have to do is if we compress mine, we have to run a band around both ways on it, get it up into place, pull everything together, and then cut the bands.
Right. Yeah, that's scary. That's
that's
scares
the
even a
scary
little
part.
back like me.
Yeah, that I haven't gotten to that part yet, and so I'm kind of holding off on that part. But I've got to get all the frame members and everything back in.
Yeah.
But since I retired in March, I've just been playing in the shop also.
Isn't it fun?
I saw on Facebook you had a pretty neat visitor stop by the other day.
Yeah, I did.
Now, whoa. Here's what I want to know. How the hell did you get directed to your house?
God.
Okay, I had something that I wanted to give him, and it was something that he uses, and yet he passed it on to someone else. So it was a tool, in essence, and I owned one, but I wasn't using it anymore. And so I gave it to Jimmy.
So Jimmy DeResta.
Yeah, to Jimmy DeResta. Well, Jimmy and I are friends because I met him 2 years ago, and I've been to his home, and it's kind of what I do. I interject myself into people's lives.
Well, hey, since you're so good friends with Jimmy and I'm so good friends with you,
There you go.
why don't you do a little interjecting of me to Jimmy?
Yeah, there's 6 degrees of separation right there.
There you go.
I mean, come on, Bob. We are really close friends now, aren't we?
That makes you a second level LinkedIn fan.
I'm still working on that friendship, to be honest.
Yeah, well, whoa. We have a little bit of extra thing in here, too, because you're on my show.
Yeah, I understand. Like I said, I interject myself into places.
Poor LouAnna. LouAnna's like going,
Yeah, he knows I'm just jesting with him.
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
I'm headed towards Columbus. Do you know Z&H Fabrications?
Yeah, Zach.
Zach.
Yep.
Zach. I'm going down to meet him over the weekend, this coming weekend,
Cool.
or a week today.
Good.
So
next thing he'll be going to Izzy Swan's place too.
Yep.
that's going to happen in. I hope to talk
See?
to Izzy.
Damn it.
I'm going to Florida in December.
Oh, you're
No,
coming
he
to
didn't
Florida
say
in
he's going to
December, and
Florida.
you haven't even told me about it. And
I am now.
I see how. Let's go over to Robert Crow real quick.
Who do you know, Robert?
Hey, can I jump in real quick? And Aussie wanted to know if he can get free shipping on that truck to Australia.
I don't think so.
I asked for you, Aussie.
Robert, why don't you go on, please?
I was going to say, do you realize how much it would cost to ship that truck to Australia?
Sorry, Aussie. I tried, man.
So
Well,
I think you
Bob-
make pens, Robert, right?
Hey, we'll have to have you on the show more.
Oh,
I'm serious.
You know the right people.
Yeah, I mean, no, but I'm serious though. If you would like to be on the show, I don't have a problem with you coming on sometime. So,
okay. All right.
and it wouldn't hurt about the DeResta thing either.
Hey, Bob, just ask me and I'll send you the link.
Okay.
So, all right.
Robert, they do that to me all the time too. Go ahead, Al. Go ahead, talk.
I
Go
would
ahead.
like to point out one thing before we go any further, and we're going to Robert next, and that is we've had like 40-something people watching. Only got 24 thumbs up.
Smash it.
Yeah, there's some slackers out there. So if you would not mind
I was
posting or giving me a thumbs up if you're still out there. And while we're talking about it, before we go to Robert, Robert, you don't have a bedtime, do you?
No.
Okay. So we have Aussie Man out there, Portal Woodworks, Dan Inge from Dan Inge Woodworking, Chris Nealon, Ken McCrory. We had Patrick from Patrick's Workshop earlier. I remember that. Dennis Goodson is out there. Aussie Man. Okay. I don't know how to say Patrick Ode. Patrick Ode.
Wait, let me see. Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick Ode. Petrik. I think it's Patrick Ode.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Yeah. Oh, it's back up a little ways. So anyway, Patrick, thank you for being here tonight. Michelle Marcoux is always here. Jeff Robinson. Dennis Goodson has been here in the chat tonight. C-Dub Journey.
C-Dub Journey, yeah.
Yep, C-Dub Journey.
It looks like Brenda on C-Dubs. What?
Robert Crow, which is here with us. LouAnna Pierce, which is here with us. Jeff Robinson. So those are just, I'm going back up through the chat real quick just to say hi to all y'all. CW Journey has been in there quite a bit chatting around. So.
Yeah, C-Dubs, I think, is one of Brenda's. I see some.
One of Brenda's friends?
Yep.
Is he one of your friends, Brenda?
She's one of my cohorts, yep.
She is one of your cohorts. Okay.
Chatting about whatever. Yes, tonight, Brenda G's Designs.
Yeah, and I wrote the new intro for her channel, and it's singer-songwriter.
Cool. All right, so let's go over to my good friend Robert Crow.
Oh, Mr. Russ.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, buddy. Just getting over my surgery.
Yeah, I know you had surgery too. What? So tell everybody about your surgery.
I had knee surgery just a day over 6 weeks ago, and I'm already at 118 degrees. They say it's doing well.
Good.
I'm scheduled probably to go back to work after their August the 20th, so I should get to go back to work.
August the 20th.
Yeah.
So how long from the time you had the surgery to the time you go back? About
I worked up till June the 11th, and then June the 12th I had my surgery. So it'll be about 8 weeks, a little
about
over,
8 weeks.
a little over
Yeah.
8 weeks.
Okay. Wow.
You feeling better?
Huh?
Are you feeling better?
Yeah. My left knee had no cartilage whatsoever left under my left knee. So under my kneecap and all of it, it was all gone. And
Ouch.
the meniscus was chipped up, so it had to go. I had to have it replaced.
Yeah.
I had ortho to take some of the meniscus out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had people. A good friend of mine, Bud Newell. His knee had gotten really, really bad, and to the point that he was like he couldn't even hardly walk anymore. And you see these people, and you go like, "It does it really hurt that bad?" And then now that I've had my back and had my problems with my back, I'm thinking about Bud, and I'm thinking like, "Wow, yeah, I know he hurt like hell." So, and then when he had his knee surgery, it's like, wow. Within a matter of a few weeks, he was up walking around doing great. And I'm like, holy crap. And he goes, yeah, it's the best thing I ever did.
It's the best thing I ever did, but I tell you, it's been a journey. It's not an easy thing to get back from, but you gotta work at it and do the PT, and I've done that, and it's getting better.
Good.
They give you that knee exerciser when you were?
No, they did that to my mom. She had both of hers done, but they didn't. They don't do that much anymore. They get you up now the next day, and they make you walk and send you home and send PT home with you, and you get to walk.
Yep. Yeah. My ortho on my knee was real minor, and they put me in a it's not a cast, but it holds the whole leg, and they said, go walk. What? Go walk. Yeah.
Yep.
The thing about walking is the muscles when they do surgery. If you don't walk and don't start bending it, the tendons will not stretch. They'll grow together and they won't be able to stretch no more. So you've got to start bending it to train them to stretch. And if you don't, they'll just grow together and then you'll have a peg leg.
Then you gotta rip them apart.
Yeah.
Cool.
Been there, done that.
What kind of guitar you got?
What kind of what kind of a scroll saw is that over there to your?
That is a little Delta.
It looked like a Delta because of the blue. Yeah.
I made a little stand for it and put a foot switch from Harbor Freight on it here a while back.
Don't you love the foot switch?
Yes, I do. It works good. I haven't used it yet. I fixed it kind of before my surgery, and I ain't had a chance to use it yet. So
my problem is I'll keep hitting the switch up on top, and I know Russ takes this over, but I'll wait. It's down here.
Yeah. Well, you see now, I've used the foot switch since pretty much day one. On as soon as I found out about it on my scroll saw, so I've got so addicted to using it that I couldn't scroll without it.
Yeah.
So you do now. You are diversified in woodworking. You do scrolling, you do turning,
yeah,
and then you have a CNC.
Yeah, I like doing the CNC. I make signs. I do a lot of signs for people. I like that, and I also like making pins. I got back into making pins while I've been out of work, so I've made a few pins with that. And I like doing signs. I've got some signs that I've made, several small.
I love it.
That's right.
Hold that up again. Leave that there for a second. I want to put up. Never mind the dog. Beware of the owner.
Yes.
I make several of those to give away. This is good for you, Russ.
Right.
My family tree's full of nuts. Yeah, I got a bunch of crazies in my family too.
Now you built your own CNC?
Yeah, they're dying to ask you questions. So go ahead and open up on the CNC questions.
Did you design it yourself too?
Pretty much. I really started with Dave Gatton. Dave Gatton really got me interested in this.
We don't mention that name. he's competition on Saturday night.
Yeah. We actually call him A-hole Gat.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Go for it.
Okay, so we have a CNC. That
So you have a CNC, and you were inspired by this guy. So
But yeah, and I started building the plywood version. He offered the free plans for a while there when he first started, and I started cutting it out, and I just got more discouraged, and I kept looking at more advanced aluminum type CNCs, and I'm like, I do metal work at work. I do CNC type work, and I said I can build this thing out of better material and make a better CNC. So that's what I did. I started getting just parts here and there, just ordering the aluminum extrusion, and I went with the aluminum extrusion because it was stronger.
Yeah.
And I used electrical strut conduit for the bottom for the rigid frame to bolt the aluminum extrusion to. It works really well. Huh?
So you put conduit in?
No. It's the square.
It's
Unistrut.
Okay.
Yeah, I used 4 of those for the base and bolted and got it all square and just bolted the sides to that, and then put my table in that. The vertical sides, I started making those out of plywood, and then they were throwing away some tables at work that were made out of aluminum CNC, or the aluminum strut, or aluminum.
That 80-20 stuff?
Yeah, 80-20.
Okay.
And it was smaller, and it had all kinds of brackets and things, and I was able to use that to make the sides out of, and it just came in the right time.
Yeah.
The big box that I have on the wall, the electrical box, was actually bolted to the side of those tables, and they had all kinds of electrical components, and I just deleted all that and took it out, and that gave me a nice sealed box to put all my stuff in.
You'd be really surprised how much I go around to companies that build machinery.
Yeah.
You'd just be really surprised at how much people just use 80-20 strut. And if it's a safe area, they'll just put plexiglass in it so you can't go through it, or they just build the whole machine around 80-20 and use that for the frame.
But a lot of the companies are going away from the 80-20 because I guess of the expense. They go into the piping, metal piping with bracketry, and our company did that. They went away from the 80-20, and so what little bit they threw away was all they had, and I've got some.
It's all you got, right?
Yeah, no, not all, but
You snapped.
2 tables of it, and I actually got some stored under my CNC that I have extra to be able to do other stuff with.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
The brains of it, the control box.
Yeah.
Did you go with the Silentech control box or did you go with something else?
I went with the Chinese long. You can order the long kit that has all the stuff in it. The stepper motors and the drivers, and I ordered those, and then I decided to go with the spindle, and I ordered all of my power supplies separately, and I did a lot of research. It took me a good 4 years to get this.
Now, I think Jim or Russ, one of them, was asking about whether it was a water-cooled spindle.
It is a water-cooled.
Can you explain that? How it differs and stuff? I mean,
it's quieter.
Quiet.
You can get the same spindle in a 1.2 or 1.5 kilowatt spindle that is not water cooled. But when you use a router, it has a fan in there that blows the air to cool the motor. So you don't have that noise. The noise level is way, way less.
Really, I didn't know that actually. I thought it was to keep the part cool, but I guess that's when you're spraying the water down, and I realize that's not what we're talking about here. But
no, it keeps the motor cool, and it don't get above I've got a radiator and a fan and all on it, and it don't really need. I guess I kind of went overboard with all that, but it only gets to like 81 degrees now, and it used to get up to maybe 112 before I put it in there. And that's not a lot for a motor. It's a three-phase motor.
That's interesting. I never thought about it, but I know like the computer I have over here has got a water cooled.
That's what I used. Is actually a water.
Yeah, it circulates. It's got a little radiator. You know, it's really neat. I never thought to apply that.
That's not the only thing about a spindle. It's not only quieter,
Yeah.
and then it runs cooler, but it also has more RPMs and more power.
It's 24,000 up to 24,000 RPM. But the thing about it is it don't bog down neither. It's 3,000 power, and it will literally shatter a bit. I've done that. It'll dip into the wood and just roll something.
Yeah. So if you run into a knot, in other words, in the wood that you didn't really know was because knots can be concealed underneath that you didn't really realize they were there, and the router runs into it. The router actually bogged down from the knot. The spindle won't, and if anything breaks, it'll be the bit.
Yeah, that water cooled spindle. The bearing tolerances are way better than a router.
Oh yeah,
Way better than an 1180 or like what I have on my router.
So you just use your CNC just to make signs and stuff, just to play around.
I also I got a clock I made. Start one of the clocks I made for my shop.
Oh, that's cool.
Gee, Russ, maybe you need to do that. Would that be cheaper?
I knew that was coming. I knew that was
Here we
coming.
go. Here we go.
That is a piece of ash, has black walnut inlays, and the
Hey,
seam.
Russ, why don't you make clocks, Russ? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a little behind. I'm watching the.
Well, I tell you what. Why don't you? I'm sorry. I'm going to say this. I may offend a few people. Just kiss my ass.
Oh my.
Might be some openings on the show next week.
Yeah, a lot of openings.
It's great to be back, folks. It's great to be back.
You
I want to go
like,
on record that
you
I'm
mean like this kind of clock?
Yeah, right. Perfect.
I want to go on record that I'm actually asking you intelligent questions here along with Al.
Thank you.
Robert, how long does it take you to make one of them clocks on your CNC? I mean, is this like months that it takes, or?
Oh, it takes mine years. I've already taken it. It takes me at least a year or two to make a clock. Kiss.
You got your router
And
set
then,
up.
and then he doesn't supply the battery.
Hey, wait, but it's
Have you ever seen, hey, Robert? Really? Have you ever seen the clock that I make?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
and it's free shipping to Australia too.
Aussie, there you go, dude.
There you go, Ozzy.
Robert, that kit that you bought, did that have the gecko drives?
No, it's the long drives.
Oh, okay.
Chinese versions, and I have not had any issues whatsoever. When I started, everybody was talking about using a old PC, and I started that route, and I just didn't like the idea of it. I didn't like the idea of having two PCs to do everything.
Yeah.
So I went the route and got the 300 Ethernet driver for the
Sure. Yep.
the CNC controller.
Yep.
CNC controller, and it runs off the Ethernet, and I already had a i5 computer system I had built, which is got 32 gigs of RAM and stuff, and I started out with Windows 7 Pro, and then I ended up having to put Windows 10 in it because 7 just wasn't working good. But I have not had an issue with the computer running the CNC, and then I have a wireless network card in the computer to run my internet, and I can turn the CNC on and start it running and have it cutting, and I can come back and have the program over there on the wall on another monitor, and I can watch videos. I can do anything I want, and I never bother that CNC. It sits there in Cadillac.
Yeah.
What do you use for your CAM software?
It's CNC. Let me minimize this. UCN.
Oh, UCCNC or something like that?
Yeah, UNCC or whatever.
UC, yep, that little controller. Are you using their software or are you using Mach 3?
No,
Mach,
their software.
okay.
Hey, Russ, not to interrupt, but you got a super chat over here.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Thank you.
Hey, you also, while we stopped,
All right, Chris.
Patrick wants to know if New Zealand has free shipping also.
Real quick though, thank you, Chris Nealon, for the super chat. I appreciate that so very much. Thank you. Nyack River, good one. That was to help with the shipping. Actually, he put in there, Chris Nealon put this. That is to help with the shipping to Aussie. So they want me to ship something. What do you do? All right. So, Chris, you want me to make a clock for Aussie man and ship it to him, and so you're helping pay for the shipping. Is that what it is?
Try like 10 times that, right?
The Aussie man said my new nickname was Clocky Russ.
Clocky Russ. Hey, just curious, how much is shipping to Australia?
It's
A bunch.
Is it like $50 to ship that clock?
No, but you're probably looking at somewhere between 20 and 30.
Okay. I know that the post office has got boxes, and I remember seeing them like.
Oh. Chris Nealon says, there you go, and with a battery.
Ooh. Ooh.
I tried to. Hell no, Russ. I can't live that long.
Room for you, Aussie man.
No, I tried to tell y'all that the battery thing was because if you ship something with a battery, it changes the whole prospect of shipping something. Because number one, they won't ship a lot of things by air freight with a battery. It has to be all ground freight. Well, when you're shipping something like to Australia, for instance, they may or may not ship it over to Australia with a battery in it, depending on the situation. So when I shipped it to John Schaffner, I left out the battery for the shipping purposes, so I didn't have to explain to them what kind of battery was it, what type, what size, and you have to go through a big rigmarole when you ship some of these things. When I shipped a battery charged razor to my son when he was in the Marines overseas, and oh my God, is there anything in there with a? Yeah, I put a Norelco razor in there. Oh, it all came to a halt before I could ship it. So so that's the only reason not shipping John Schaffner a damn clock without a battery. You understand?
Hey, don't tell me, tell him.
I heard, now this is just what I heard,
Yeah.
that in Australia won't let you ship batteries because they're still using lemons with 2 nails in them.
Oh.
I don't know if that's Aussie. Maybe you can tell us if you guys have like lithium batteries over there now.
I swear to God, I don't know why I do this damn show.
Yeah, I got one to add into there. I know why you don't ship it ground.
I don't know why. I get
Myself.
so much crap.
That's because we love
But I
you.
don't know why I do this damn show.
We are going to have so much fun Thursday night, Russ.
Okay, can we go back to Robert?
Back to the CNC.
Robert, do you have any of those pens around by chance?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is one I just made. This is a billet pen. It's got the American flag with the
Oh, that's beautiful.
Pledge of Allegiance on it. I did that one.
That's absolutely beautiful, my
I
friend.
did. This one is a fountain pen that I did in dogwood, in which I sell a good bit of dogwood blanks to people. I actually got an order to do.
That's
Nice.
really
Yeah,
cool.
raise
I
it up
like
higher
that.
like that.
Yeah, nice.
That is a fountain pen.
Fountain pen.
Pretty.
And I had another bullet pen, but I gave it to a friend at church. But it had the Second Amendment on it, which this is one I haven't cut yet.
Okay, cool. Now you made that blank?
Yes, I did. I poured the blank. I came up with a way. A lot of the guys are using stickers, but I found I just print these out on regular paper.
Right.
And what
Like parchment paper?
Huh?
Is that like a parchment paper?
No, this is just regular printer paper.
Okay.
Just regular.
Aren't you afraid you're going to gouge it when you're?
Well, what I've been doing is I just use this stick glue for kids, the purple stuff.
That stuff tastes good.
It actually does.
Especially the purple.
Mom, it's edible. Look, Paul's got his right there.
Can we get back to Robert? All right, Robert, explain again. You take that glue and you...
And I just etch the brass tubes and just coat the back of that real good, and then just line it up on the brass tube and roll it around like you're just rolling a cigarette or whatever, and just it sticks really well.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, it works really good.
It is.
And then you put the tube in a cast and then pour the resin over it.
Yeah.
Robert, you tend not to use those on slim lines, though, so are you afraid you'll gouge into them?
Yeah, I use them on bullet pens, things like that. It's 3/8.
I'd be afraid I'd ruin it, you know.
It's a Sierra mold is what I use, which is a stub.
Pull it back towards you a little bit. There we go. Yeah, right there.
There you go. Great. Awesome.
That's neat. That's silicone, right?
Somebody made that on a 3D printer.
This is a PT stubby. This is a silicone mold.
It's silicone? Okay.
You can order these from his website, PT Stubby. I have to order different. And
that's what's neat. That's what's neat about this hobby. You can make your own molds, and then make your blanks out of your own molds. I mean, it's like you can make it all if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of resin do you use for casting that?
I just started with this new. This is like a
amazing.
Is it amazing?
It's amazing.
Like product. It's the cheaper version. It's really slow at drying. So if you buy this is like 24 to 48 hour cure time. It takes a lot longer for it to cure, but it's much easier to use if you're new at it.
No bubbles?
How about air bubbles? Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. This stuff here, it's so slow drying that most of the air bubbles just dissipate by themselves.
Oh, you don't use a pressure pot?
Can you heat it up?
I don't think so. It actually gets a little warm, but you can put it on anything that vibrates to get most of the air bubbles, and they mostly just disappear. I mean, they just because it dries so slow.
When it dries slow like that, then it won't damage your product. So that's a good thing.
Right.
What you're putting inside.
So you do not use a pressure pot.
I'm in the process of making one. I had an old paint pot, but it didn't work out. I've got an old pressure pot.
But as of right now, you don't use one.
And once you start with the pressure pot, you can use the
Alumilite and
quicker
setup
time, and that way it'll work faster, and you won't have so much backlog or time in making them. But if you got the time to wait on it, then you can just use this.
Just one second. Aussie Man made a statement out there, and he goes, "You guys eat glue? No wonder you're all crazy." So we had to share that. There was something else.
Robert, can I jump?
Portal Woodworks wants to know: is that a Clemson Tiger hat?
Yes, sir.
Yep, I thought it was.
Clemson
Go Tigers!
Hey, can I get back to the
CNC
for a second? Well, yeah, the CNC.
well, yeah, but first off, let me ask a question about the CNC because I've been holding this back. So you don't use what would you say was the controller software?
UCCNC.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you use to make your signs with?
I use Vectric.
V-Carve.
V-Carve.
It's fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Okay, so you use Vectric, and then you have Vectric convert the G code over to your UCNC whatever software.
Right. I
Right. Okay.
just made the G code.
Does it connect to the machine parallel, or how do you get the information over the machine?
No, it is Ethernet. That's what I was telling
Oh,
you.
Ethernet, really?
Yeah, it's all Ethernet.
Oh, okay, so basically, yeah, gotcha.
It is parallel. Odasi, it is parallel, but the board in there that is the board that I got that's Ethernet has the parallel connector to go to the.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking, because I remember them talking about, whoever it was that I was watching, talking about it connecting parallel-wise. And
Right.
most computers nowadays, you can't really find a parallel. I mean, you can't, you know.
And I didn't want to go that route because I didn't want to have two computers to have to worry about and keep up, and just deal with one. And it works flawlessly as far as running the machine and doing anything else.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Jim. Your question.
I was going to ask you, when you're using that epoxy to make blanks and stuff, are you ever able to dye it? Or, you know how guys will throw a bunch of stuff in there and that kind of stuff?
I've seen that at Woodcraft. I go over to Woodcraft in Greenville and pick up some of the stuff I use, and they got it, but I haven't tried it yet.
But that epoxy that you use, you're saying is tolerant to that, so you can go ahead and like put pieces of whatever cork or aluminum, all that stuff in it.
Right.
Cool. I'll have to look into it.
I just haven't got into a lot of the pouring and doing the blanks other than these blanks that I'm doing. I mean, I've been wanting to do those for a long time, and I just kind of got into it just while I've been out of work. So
yeah,
I'm asking Robert, what are you in the Carolinas?
South Carolina. I'm up near Clemson University. I'm about 18 miles from Clemson University.
All right, so there you have it. That's the reason he's a Clemson Tiger.
That's right. That's the
reason I'm a Florida Gator. I live within probably 40, 50 miles of Gainesville. So I'm a Florida Gator fan.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the signs I've made.
Oh, that's pretty.
Black walnut. I make several of those different kinds with live edge black walnut. I do different colors on the letters.
Beautiful. Yeah, Robert is a very diversified woodworker. So
I am getting ready to build me a 16 by 24 building. Start on it as soon as my knee gets better. I'm going to try to get one started and get out of this old mobile home, because this old mobile home is just one that was here on the property when I moved here, and it's sufficed, and it's where I started. But it's got its problems and leaked some, and I don't want to put a whole lot of money in it trying to fix it. So,
well, you know, Robert, you could start a series, call it "This Old Mobile Home." As you go along.
This old mobile.
Yeah, it's not the best shape, but it is functional. I got AC and all in it where I can be in here when it's hot and work and stuff. So, but I want one that's a little more insulated and that I can maintain. I'm gonna put a mini split in it so I can keep the temperature controlled all the time, because I have so many chemicals and things that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of that stuff, like if, for instance, the Alumilite, if it comes a certain temperature, and there's other things that become a certain temperature, they'll like solidify automatically just from the temperature change or whatever.
You know, they'll cure, they'll whatever they do.
Yeah, I have to bring everything in out of the garage every winter, or it'll freeze hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just, I have that problem with the heat, as far as I have to be careful where and what I put, and because I really don't like running the air. This part of the shop is air conditioned, and I really don't like running the air conditioner here all the time. So depending on what I have or whatever, I actually keep some stuff inside the house. So I know that people are going to go like, really?
Yeah. I've brought boxes in of clear, and stain, and
Yeah, it's special. Well, Robert, I am so glad we had you on the show tonight.
Thank you.
And I would like to, like I did with Bob, I'd like to open up the invitation to you. So if you want to come back on sometimes.
I do want you to gather up this director thing and get us a field trip, because I've been watching his shop build years ago, and I want to go see his shop too.
There you go.
Well, Bob Lee is the man that we need to talk to down on the end down here. Bob, hear that? He's on the Duresta thing too. You're the only man in here that has the direct connect.
You know what? You can go visit Jimmy anytime you want. All you need is about $1,600.
I wonder if Duresta would go on the cruise with you guys. Now there'd be a showstopper.
Yeah.
On the cruise with Duresta.
For real.
If Bob was a real guy, he'd get him on the show here. With.
I have actually,
okay, and I'll put this out there. I have talked to Jimmy Duresta at 2 different Atlanta woodworking shows, and he has agreed to be on my show at both of them. And so what I think I need to do is get off, and I really thought about this. I can invite Jimmy and have him on the show and everything, but I really try to keep the show down to a lot of us, or a lot of, I just can't say it any other way, just like normal woodworkers and stuff, because I put Jimmy up there at a class that's, the guy's been on Discovery Channel and everything, so I think I am going to take advantage, because he knows who I am. Trust me. I think I am going to take advantage of it and contact him and see if he would come on the show sometime. So
fly him in, Russ.
No, I'm serious. 2 times. The last time, not this past Atlanta woodworking show, which would have been 2019. The 2018, I think he was there with Izzy Swan and a bunch of people, and I was talking to him. And I said, "Do you remember when I asked you to be on the show?" He goes, "Yeah," and you never did contact me back. So I'm like, "Well, I will." So
we'll get to it. Contact him.
Contact him and see if he will.
Hey, Bob, you got his number?
Hey, Bob, if you got his number, it's 8675309.
8675309.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Sleep all night and I work all day.
You know what? All you have to do is contact Jimmy by his email. He'll answer every email.
Well,
just don't put YouTube in the suggestion box. Put contact or visit or show time or something like that. Just go to his email. He answers every email.
That's good.
But don't mark it YouTube. Mark it subject in the subject line. Put whatever you want to put in there, and he'll answer.
And don't say it's from Russ Clarity either.
Yeah.
I have one question that I still have to ask.
All right, go ahead. And if it's anything that has derogatory towards me, you are off the damn show. Okay, whatever.
The guitar. Do you play?
I saw that in the background. I was going to ask you about that.
Do you play, or is it? Are you working on it? Or are you building it? Or
are you talking to me?
Yeah, Robert, the guitar.
Yes, sir, Mr. Crow. Can we hear a little? Oh,
there's another one.
Cool.
We're in the water.
The handle on the one behind you.
Yeah.
That's what we were asking about.
Okay. I want to hear some Pink Floyd now.
Yeah.
This is just a cheap. It's got all kind of dust on it.
Okay.
The shop guitar.
Yeah, it's a cheap. I don't even have the amp hooked up right now, so.
The shop guitar.
A shop guitar. We were wondering if you were going to pull it out and go, "Oh, this is one I made 20 years ago."
It's my axe.
Dust makes it play better.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just an average little picker. I don't pick a whole lot.
Well, I'm a below average picker.
Yeah, I remember Robert sent me some wood to turn poles with, and I had no idea what one of the piece of wood was until I put it on the damn lathe and started turning it. He sent me some damn hickory. That's the hardest damn shit I ever turned in my damn life.
Ooh, he said the S word.
Uh-oh.
I have never turned anything as hard as that wood.
I apologize for saying you're such a hard people.
I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, holy crap. That stuff is like, he sent me some walnut. You sent me walnut, hickory, and there was something else.
You need one of those robust legs to turn that thing.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, okay. But I know I appreciate you sending me the wood and everything. It was just I wasn't aware. First off, I have cut some hickory and done some stuff, but never turned it on a lathe. And when I started turning, I'm like, what kind of wood is this? I'm like, and then I discovered it was hickory. I'm like, oh, okay. No wonder I'm having so much problems with it.
Yeah, ironwood.
Yeah, it's ironwood, all right.
I started getting into bowls at first, and then I realized that bowls just kind of wasn't my forte. I ventured in.
Bowls aren't my forte either.
I thought everything.
I haven't turned in a while. I need to get back into it because I was having a lot of fun when I was doing some of the turning. It's just, it's kind of like
a top. Is that a top? I'm sorry, Rob.
What is it?
Is it a top?
I made a little
acorn.
I made a little acorn. And
acorn.
The top.
Oh,
no, it's an acorn.
Ooh.
What do you keep in there?
No paraphernalia.
I don't know. I just.
But that was one of the coolest things I think. It turned out pretty good. It's
two different.
It looks great. Yeah. It looks fantastic. Cop pulled Robert over and he.
You don't have to look in here. There's nothing in here.
He says, Robert, what's this? And he says, that's an acorn. He goes, that's an acorn, huh? And pops it open, and there's a lot of marijuana in there. He goes, yeah, that's my medicinal purpose acorn.
Hey, Russ, you were talking about hard wood. Aussie said some of the wood here is so hard it makes steel look soft.
Oh, my God. Is that a manly comment?
I think that's about the same way that hickory is. That's one of the... I've run into hickory before, and I'm like, wow. I had a piece of it was given to me about 3/4 of an inch thick and about 16, 2 foot long and about 6 or 8 inches wide. But anyway, I split it in half and I used it to make the blade of a hand saw. And the teeth on that thing would literally... If you went up to somebody and struck them with it, would rip them wide open because it was as sharp as steel, if you ask me.
Have you ever tried turning locust wood?
No, I've never tried locust wood.
Because we used to use that for fence posts. Out on the farm, we used to try to find locust to use for fence posts because it was so hard.
Yeah. Hey, have you guys ever used any salt cedar?
Any what?
Salt cedar.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a tree that grows in West Texas, or in Texas actually, but it's pretty worthless. Yeah, if you see the tree, you'd know what I'm saying.
I know when I was a kid growing up, when you bought your fence post put in on the farm, and it was the same way as the poles for the electric lines were all soaked in creosote.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you could put a creosote pole in the ground and that sucker would be there for 30 or 40 years.
I built a shed. It was like an 8x8 shed in creosote plywood. And I did it on purpose because of the water shedding properties. I haven't seen creosote, whatever soaked plywood since the 80s.
We had
because they banned it because of carcinogenic
Yeah.
property.
When I was an instrument controls tech at Inland Steel, we had a creosote plant in the old part of the steel mill. And I was talking to one of the supervisors for water treating there one time, and he said if they ever shut this plant down, the whole steel mill, the water treating plants would have to run for another 100 years just to get all this crap out of the creosote plant.
I bet.
Exactly.
And filter it through, and but yeah, they
Exactly.
shut that creosote plant down even in the steel mill. They shut them down.
Yeah, the carcinogenic properties of creosote is like, but the poles would never rot.
Nope.
That's what they used for the telephone poles.
You'd go
Electric
inside the
poles. They were all soaked in creosote. They stood for hundreds of years straight up.
And they used to use creosote on railroad ties.
Yes, railroad ties.
Telephone poles.
Telephone poles for sure. Yeah.
We
I've
go
seen some telephone poles that are like that.
All the good stuff that would last forever is so harmful to the environment. It's just like I'm going on a diet to try to lose some weight. It's just like all the stuff that tastes good is bad for you. All the tastes like crap is good for you.
Oh, and be careful because eating leafy vegetables will also kill you.
Yeah.
Some of the crud that's in it, yeah.
Well, they recall lettuce at the grocery store.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy. I mean, we just had a recall here in Florida on some hamburger that came from out of state and said that they recalled it because there's a possibility of contamination of human blood. So I'm thinking like, okay, some guy cut his damn finger off and it contaminated the whole batch. And guess what? They shipped it all out.
Oh my God.
I'm serious about the recall. That's not a joke. They recalled hamburger meat because it was contaminated with human blood.
They just got caught with they got caught that it was all the lie that the cows had this disease.
Mad cow.
Yep, to get the price up. They said they caught them that it was a lot of it was just made up.
Yeah.
And look at all the animals that were destroyed because of that.
Yep. Just to get the price up.
If you remember why the mad cow disease was because they were taking the cow parts and turning it into food and feeding it back to the animals.
Yep.
And that supposedly was causing the mad cow disease. So
been going on for years.
There's so much. I got to tell you.
Now, Russ.
Now, I got to tell you this. When you read some of this crap that is posted on Facebook and you sit there and read it and then you read it again, if you really believe that stuff, you got a problem. I'm sorry. I read some of the stuff and I sit there and laugh.
I believe everything
some of the stuff that they post is true, but some of this bull crap about like Area 51 and the aliens, and then I mean it goes on and on and on and on. Is there a possibility that the United States government has confiscated a spacecraft that could have crashed into the Earth or whatever? 90% of me thinks it's false, but 10% of me says that's a possibility. There's always I'm open to things that possibly could happen. There's a possibility. But then when you go on and on and on and on about it, it's like, come on, give me a break. It's like read the stuff that they're posting. There was this thing about here the other day that I read, something about a guy on meth eat his roommate or something. I'm serious. And I went like, what?
Was that in Florida?
I was like, no way. I mean, come on, give me a break. If you read this and think this is serious and true, come to find out later on, it was posted on there, this is false. Or if you typed it, I think I typed it into Google, it come back, this is false information. This did not happen. They got into a guy and his roommate got in a fight, and the one guy bit the other guy, and it exploded out to that he ate his roommate.
That had to be in Florida.
I just love it when people tell me that they found the information of whatever they're trying to give me, that they found it on Google.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, you found it on the internet. It has to be true.
True. Exactly. It absolutely has to be true if you
It's
found
on
it on the
TV.
internet.
It must be true.
Yeah. So, I mean, come on, when you read it, think about it for 1 second. And I know there's some crazy ass stuff that goes on in this world. I realize that. Don't get me wrong. I do realize that. But when you read some of this stuff, it's like,
Boy, just burst Aussie Man's bubble out there. He said,
I know,
really,
yeah.
I thought everything on the net was true.
His whole life has been a lie up till now.
Well, it started back in 1938 with Orson Welles and War of the Worlds. People jumped off the buildings and stuff because they heard it on the radio.
Poor Aussie.
oh, trust me, I get a kick out of some of the stuff I read. I'm like, and then people pick it up and post it and think it's, or here's the next one I love is, oh, did you know that Don Knotts died? Yeah, like 20 years ago. I'm like, did you not look at what you're posting? That happened like 5 years ago or 10 years ago. It's like,
Wait a second. Don Knotts died? I see him on TV.
I was using that as an out. It's my Chris, where my sun don't shine, and that's a whole lot of area down there too. So anyway, but yeah, it's like they post this stuff thinking like, oh, I'm posting something new today, and then you look at it and go, oh, that happened back in 2013. This is 2019. Did you not look at the date when you decided to post that? And then when you tell them, this happened like 10 years ago, they delete the whole post because they're embarrassed.
Yeah.
They realize they got caught. Okay. Aussie Man said, okay, so mad cow is caused by steering at the moon. Steering.
He said mad cow disease is another name for what was it?
Alzheimer's. Yeah.
Alzheimer's. I forgot it.
Right. Oh, then he puts, oh, this is the best one of them all. He goes, God, I love this show.
Right.
Well, we appreciate it. Trust me, and we appreciate it. Sometimes we get on these wild tangents and
That's right, David.
This sometimes.
Portal. There's another.
Robert, if you have any hopes of coming back, you'll kind of like.
See, Russ, today when you were saying you didn't have a topic for the show, and I said it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
I realize that, and I appreciate when I don't have a topic that we come on and try to do some of this stuff
for 2 hours.
But my point is I and when I first started this show, I didn't want it to become this time of the show so much. I wanted to be able to bring people on the show to show woodworking or a type of a jig they made or some type of a tool that like a router they use in a different way that nobody else uses it. That's why I wanted to develop this show. And I understand that we can't have all those people on every single week. And so it has transformed over into somewhat of what has become. I mean, there's no way of saying or beating around the bush. But my point is I still want it to be about woodworking. I would still like people out there, if you're in the chat or listening to this show tomorrow, to come on. And I think I'm going to invite Bob and Robert back, as far as I would like to challenge y'all two people to do like I talked about before. Go into your shops and do something for the show that you think is something special and video it, and then come back here and we'll show that off if you don't mind. I'd like to ask you to do that, and then we'll come back and show it off. And so, and Bob, I don't mind if it's talking about your car. This is, we can expand out and not just have to be woodworking if you want to talk about the car.
Can I show one picture of the start of that truck?
Yes, go ahead.
You know, I want to point out something too. Let's talk shop with
Wait a
Russ,
minute.
right?
Yeah, it changed on you.
Yeah. This is what I started with.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Holy cow.
No way. That truck that you drive
That
looks
truck that I drive is that truck.
Oh
Yeah.
That was
my
a 10-year project.
Gee.
Now, did you have like the rest of the fenders and the bed to go with it, or did you have to buy all that stuff afterward?
See, that truck is made up of 18 different vehicles.
Wow.
Wow,
Wow.
that's
The
incredible.
It's like a transformer, man.
yes, it is. It is.
Does it talk through the radio to you?
It doesn't even have a radio in it. I never got that done.
You just don't want to hear it talk to you. I got you.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
18 different trucks.
Yes,
Oh my God.
it's been heavily modified, and
Really?
Bob, did you do all this yourself?
all but the paint.
All
I
the
did
time?
all the body work. I did all the primer work. I
Yeah.
did all the fabrication and the welding and the engineering because I was using parts. Let's see, I used parts from an S10 Blazer, an S10 pickup, an 80 Camaro,
Wow.
72 Monte Carlo, and the 49.
Wow.
But there's several different trucks involved too of that year because I had to come up with different
Yeah.
panels for it.
But you didn't paint it.
I'm sorry?
But you didn't paint it?
I did not paint it. I
Oh,
don't
you're an
paint it.
amateur then. I can't believe you didn't paint it.
If I may,
I'm
what
sorry?
if I may, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jim. Go ahead.
No, I was just making a joke. It's like, I can't believe you didn't paint it. What an amateur.
That I am. I am so bad at painting. That's why I didn't do it.
I don't even want to look at it anymore if you didn't paint it. Forget it.
Yeah.
No, let me tell you, painting, especially something like that, you want to hire a very professional.
And it looks like he did too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful truck.
That is the one thing that I hired a friend to do because
Yeah.
I've learned a long time ago I can spray primer and that type of stuff or Rust-Oleum when I'm doing the frames and stuff. But when you want that mirror-like finish, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Aussie man wants to know if he can send you his address so you know where to ship that to.
He'll paint it for you.
Yeah.
So if I may,
He's still on the shipping kick.
He can have it after I'm done with it. So that might
you
be
go.
hopefully 10 or 20 years.
Aussie, you've got slow boats to China passing by Australia.
We still got 32 people out there watching us.
And I still have my question for Bob too.
All right, well, get the hell out of the way. Go ahead.
If I may, Bob, what is your background? I mean, like, I'm a tech, a computer instructor. I mean,
It's not what he knows; it's who he knows.
but no, it's work.
The one thing that I want to tell you people is what you are doing is what I have done all my life. I have been educated in every form of making in my entire life.
That's why I'm asking. And honestly, I think I have too. My first job was at a hardware store. I mean, and if that doesn't mean anything to anybody, work at a hardware store and have people come in and ask me. But the point is you learn different things, don't you, Bob?
Well, I've been formally trained as a welder, an electrician. I worked in a full-service gas station. I never went to school. I didn't go to school in the sense of college, but I went to trade schools.
Yeah.
And I have a degree in old school drafting.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Really?
So I have a 2-year associate degree in the old
Yeah.
T-squares, all the, the old style, because
Sharpen the
when
pencil.
I finished it, that's when the computers started coming out.
Did you have
Just
the
about
old quill
5 years
pen?
later.
Did you
Yes.
have the quill pens?
Mechanical pens. Mechanical pens.
Oh, the pens.
Remember the tri-square rulers?
Yeah.
Did you sharpen your pencils like this?
Huh?
Did you sharpen your pencils like this?
Yeah, and that little thing you'd whip
Yeah.
around.
That little sharpener that you would put the pencils in.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So you could have a sharp point on it to do the mechanical drawing.
Yeah.
See, I used
drafting class. It was great. That was my favorite class.
I had a 16-month course of that after high school. But I also worked in a trailer factory for 2 years. And I've built well over 2,000 trailers and 17 of my own.
As in pull behind trailers?
Yes, pull behind trailers. Snowmobile and boats and kind of U-Haul it type style open trailers. In fact, I own the second trailer I ever built, which was in high school 46 years ago.
God, how since where's my calculator? Sheesh.
Yeah, my background has been based on. Now, the only thing that I am very not versed in is literally computers. I know nothing about programming or even doing SketchUp or anything. So whenever I have to do things, I have to get out my mechanical drawing and literally lay it out in scale. But I use my iPad for everything.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. I mean, come on.
Well, everything. I'm on my phone right now with you.
I understand, but my point is about you saying you don't know enough about it to you have to lay it out and scale on there. That's not a bad thing that you have to do that.
No. In fact, I call it the original SketchUp.
Yeah.
See everybody. I gotta go.
Hi, Paul.
Bye, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for being on.
Good night.
Night.
So that's not a bad thing. I mean, as far as having to do that, because that's somewhat of the way that I designed my stuff was through drafting. I used to draft plans for houses for people. And so that's where my drafting is. But I taught myself. I bought my own drafting table. I learned how to use the scale and taught myself. I was drawing plans for back in the 80s for $300,000 and $400,000 house. I was designing them for people and never went to drafting school.
Well, see, after I went to drafting school, I was trained as a welder in high school at the Votech school. But when I came out and worked about 3-4 years in welding, I went and found a job at a electrical shop driving truck. And this gentleman literally took me under his wing and taught me my trade. And I had hands-on training like no one could believe. And I went union 10 years after I started with him. And I stayed with him 41 years.
Wow.
And I retired just this past March. But I was a full journeyman electrician.
Yeah, that's actually fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's been my background. And that's why I say I really never went to schooling in the sense of college and that. And it was only because of my dad. He got me started in the welding class in high school. And now woodworking is my hobby. It is something that I know if I have to say where I'm at is I'm just above an entry level.
So what's your, pardon, no pun intended, what's your forte?
Say that again.
What's your forte? What is your specialty?
I am a qualified journeyman electrician. That's what I was and am. But what I love to do in woodworking is flat work, turning, pens, bowls, handles, scroll work. I'm just getting into the scrolling end of things.
Scrolling is awesome, Bob. I agree.
And
But you
I
know,
have,
out of all those things, I love doing it all. I'm putting a 50 amp feed in. You know, you're talking about journeyman electrician, and it's like, it's all neat. It's all just, yeah. What was that, Bob? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I'm flapping my tongue.
Cool.
it's Deadpool. It's something for
cool.
my son.
Yes, yes.
Cool.
And
You know, Bob, you and I have a lot in common as far as that goes, as far as because my father was a carpenter and a builder.
Same here. Well,
And so when I became probably about 13 years of age, 13, 14, somewhere along in that area, during my summertime, and I worked with him a lot as far as the carpenter and building and stuff. But during some of my summers, he would stick me with some of his friends to work, and some of his friends were plumbers and electricians. So there were some summers I would work with an electrician and learn how to wire houses and stuff.
Mhm.
There was, you know, some summers I'd work with a plumber and learn about plumbing and everything. And then, you know, so throughout the from that, and then from what I went on to understand about electrical and plumbing and everything, I grew on my own. So, yeah.
that is so important because you had to know the order of things to do
Yes.
and what order they needed to be done in, because you learn that as a contractor. I am fully aware of that situation because I had to work with contractors and some of them didn't know a damn thing.
Oh yeah, I've definitely worked with a bunch of them that didn't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
okay. So, something's funny here. What, Jim?
I don't know what you're talking about, Al.
So anyway, but yeah, so throughout the years I learned, so I mean, as far as electricity, anything in a home wiring, I do. If I have problems or want to add something to my home, I do it. As far as plumbing, I do it. I don't have a problem with it. I understand plumbing and everything else. So I do all my own plumbing, all my own electrical, all my own carpentry. We did I'm going to say back in the 90s, I guess it was the latter part of the 90s, when they were a little bit, when I say laxed about the permits, is back in my father's day, if you were the contractor, you could actually build the house from the dirt up. You could do the roofing, you could do the plumbing. If you knew how to do it, you could do it, and it would pass inspection. Now it's come along to this point that in order to build a house, you have to have an actual electrical license, so you can pull the electrical permit. You have to have the HVAC license so you can do the air conditioning and heating. You have to have the plumbing license. You have to have a roofing contractor. So every individual part of building that house has to be an individual contractor with an individual license. So basically what the builder does is go down and pulls the permit to build the home, and then he hires all these other people to come in and lock in between his permit that are licensed to build that house. But back in the day when my father built the house, he poured the concrete, he put the plumbing in, he did the electrical work, he did everything.
You know, Russ, it's really weird you say that now, you know, you got to do all that. But even in the trades and the steel mills, when I was out there, the electricians hooked up motors and did anything that was like over 220 volts. That's all they did. And then anything that was like 120 volts or 24 volts DC or something that was control equipment in the mills, the instrument controls people did it.
Right.
So there was like, there was a line there.
Yeah.
There was like, it wasn't a line, it was a wall.
It's not like that. You have to do
still like
everything.
Yeah, we didn't go across that wall either, you know.
Jim, it's still exactly like that.
Yeah.
You have
Really?
control
Only,
people.
only in the union. Only in the union places.
Well,
I've been electrician,
we
master
were-
electrician for 30 years, and you have to do everything. We have to program the machines. We have to troubleshoot them.
Yeah,
I haven't
Yeah.
pulled wires or bent conduit in 30 years, but now you have to do everything. They give me a part, and I have to go make it on the milling machine or the lathe.
Now, if I had to run conduit to an instrument, I ran conduit to an instrument. Or if I had to run a signal line, like an impulse line from a
Low
big main line down to an instrument, I did that. But I mean, anything after it was a motor or something like that, we didn't touch it.
We have to do everything.
Yeah.
They're mixing the trades now.
I see that, especially in the car plants. I'll see that, like I'll go into a GM or a Ford plant or something like that. GM's the worst. I mean, they won't let you even open a control panel door and let you point at something and say you need to move that to here. But I mean, Ford and Chrysler are a little bit more. The guys are more lax. They're more laid back. But the union guys at GM are a lot more strict about it. And it's not just GM; it's other plants too. But I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
It's still like that a little bit in the paper mills, but they have to. Now they're expecting you to go to trade school and have to be electrician and a millwright and a instrumentation guy.
Well, over the years, though, I think the safety regulations from OSHA, you get that arc flash stuff going on now, and a lot of the stuff you have to be a lot more specialized to do things nowadays, just because of federal regulations and stuff.
Sure, I used to go in substations with
Yeah,
take everything out of my pockets and everything, and just go in there and do work. You had 2-inch bus bars, 4-inch bus bars running right next to you, and I had to do it hot. Holy cow, they'd freak out if I did that
You
nowadays.
put your left hand in your pocket and or your right hand, one hand in your pocket, and you pull the door open. Sorry, Russ. We
got
electrical.
No,
on
I totally understand what I understand what you're talking about. So trust me, I've done a lot of electrical work in my time and stuff. I wasn't a licensed electrician, so I basically shouldn't have done it. But it used to fall, like I said, in Florida, it used to fall out if you were the contractor. You could basically had a lot of leeway as far as what you could do on building the house. Now they have come down to the fact that you have to be a licensed electrician, you have to be a licensed plumber, you have to license HVAC.
Sure, you don't pull a permit, right? You don't pull a permit unless you're a master.
You can't even put the roof on the house unless you have a licensed roofer.
Yep.
So
I just had our garage. We just re-roofed a couple of weeks ago. And the building inspector came by a couple of days ago. He said how they do a good job, and he's looking the whole thing over. And so they're on it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a bad thing that they've done. It's just my point is explaining is when my father built houses back in the 50s and 60s and even up into the 70s, things were a lot different for a builder back then than things are a builder now.
Yeah,
a totally different. And when I worked
the
electrician, one of the fondest memories I ever had is when the electrician would in a house would run the panel. I mean, every wire that came into that panel that came through the top had a 90-degree bend and went over to the side, went down to follow the panel, and then had another 90-degree bend to go over to the breaker. I mean, when you opened that panel box and looked at the breakers, everything was just almost perfect.
Anal. I wire anally like that
literally too. A work of art.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When I open up a control panel if I go into a plant, I open a control panel and there's wires that look like spaghetti all over it.
Yeah.
I just shake my head and just go, these guys have no respect for
them days are gone. Them days are gone though.
Yeah, you're
when
right.
When I built big panels for KC, everything was immaculate like that. But now it's a faster pace. Them days are gone. Let's get her running.
So I mean, but this electrician, I'm trying to think of his last name because I remember it. The electrician I worked, his first name was Eugene. It was Eugene something, and I can't remember. I've been sitting around there trying to. But he was the one that impressed me. All when he put, let's say you had 2 switches, which would be the plate for the 2 switches, so it would be 4 screws. All screws turn straight up.
That's
That's
a
a little
anal.
crazy.
All screws turn straight up on the plate. If there was 3 switches, so it'd be 6 screws. All 6 screws turn straight up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I used to do
Same way on the outlet, as far as for your plug-in, the screw would be straight up.
I put them at 45-degree angles on all of them.
Yeah, no.
When I was 20, when I was 20 and I did panels, I would do a U on the wires. So if you took that, and it looked real neat, like a rib cage, if you took that wire off, you could land it in any other breaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there, you don't see no such thing nowadays. No way.
Yeah. They just
So there was a lot of different things, and like I said, this guy taught me about the plumbing guy was the same way. He was pretty right on as far as when he laid out it had to be like for the fall of a sewage pipe, it's like 1/8 of an inch for every. I'm going to say this, and it's going to be wrong, so do not criticize me. And you go back and look it up into the plumbing and say, Russ, you're wrong about this, but it was like 1/8 of an inch for every 10 feet or something.
Yeah, they're right.
Fall or whatever. Because
1 in 60 fall.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's 1/8 of an inch over 10 feet.
But when he put that pipe in the ground, he went down and made sure over again 2 or 3 times. He before he covered up the sand, he would even use shim blocks underneath to make sure, so when he put the sand around it and everything to cover it, the plumbing pipes, so they'd stay in place. But yeah, there was a lot of meticulous work that they did that I thought, I'm like, really, you're taking your much time to do that? But as I grew up later on and I started doing my own some of the wiring and stuff and started laying out my panels like that one guy do, then when I would I would go to put the panel box back on, I'd stand there and go like, damn, that looks good. That really looks good. I like the way it looks. So
we can complain about inspectors and the rules and stuff like that, but if you go into communities that have really good, building inspectors and the communities that enforce their standards and everything, those are the ones where you have the higher house values at. If you go in places that have like really lax, inspection processes and stuff in government, crappy houses and low house prices. So
they had to change the laws, because what I used to call them I called them ridge runners. You had these ridge runners doing all this crappy work, and it was even building the frames, it was getting so bad that they had to start making rules and laws and changing everything.
Yeah, and safety too. I mean, people would do things that were even they look good. They were put together well. And here comes a hurricane, for instance.
All right, guys. It's been a fantastic show. We went way over time. We're like at 10:30.
This is 2 shows in one.
2.5 hour show.
This is the Double Mint Twins in one show.
Yeah, 2.5 hours we've been on here, and we still got 32 people. So it's incredible. Dan
probably all fell asleep.
Dan Inge Woodworking's out there. Aussie Man still here. Chris Nealon still here. I'm surprised there's that many people out there still watching us. So I really am. But I appreciate you all so very, very, very much. But we're going to get out of here. I mean, I got to get to bed. I'm already past my bedtime. I'm usually in bed by this time. So. But we're going to cut out of here. Thank you again, Bob. Thank you for being here.
Been a pleasure.
And we'll hope to have you back in the near future.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yep. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, sir.
Dixon, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jim, thank you. LouAnna, good to have you on here tonight, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you being on. I really do. And we'll have you back.
I appreciate you being here.
We'll have you back again.
Oh, that'd be nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Al,
Guys, have a
Robert, good to have you on here, Robert.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You're all very welcome. Well, thank you for watching. And there's only one thing we have to do, and that is just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank you for
Good
watching.
night, Russ.
Good
Night,
night.
y'all.
God bless.
Hey, Chris is
You'll
not
have
here
to go
today,
home.
but
Can't stay here.
there you go.
LouAnna beat y'all all to it. She
Way to
got
go, LouAnna.
it. Good job, LouAnna.